I'm Kimberly Kay with your entertainment report for MidHudsonNews.com. The idea of guaranteeing 10 nominees for Best Picture lasted just 2 years. The Academy now says the number of nominees will be determined by how many good movies there are. If there are 10, there'll be 10 nominees. If only 5 are exceptional, that's how many will be nominated. We won't find out how many movies make the cut until the Oscar nominees are announced on January 24th. Police are standing guard outside Joss Stone's house in England after the arrest of 2 men. Police say the men were arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to rob and murder. They wouldn't confirm a report in The Sun that the men had swords, rope, and a body bag, as well as maps and aerial photos of Stone's property. Well, the revised version of the Spider-Man musical is getting slightly better reviews, but that's not saying much considering how widely the original show was panned before it officially opened. The New York Times writes that the musical is no longer the ungodly, indecipherable mess it used to be. It's just a bore. The New York Daily News says it's not a great gourmet meal, but it's a tasty diversion. And the AP's backhand compliment is that it's far from the worst show in Broadway history. One rave, however, came from President Clinton, who was one of the celebrities in the audience opening night. He says it was fabulous. 27 couples ended their marriage in a courthouse in London, and Elizabeth Hurley was one of them. Her divorce from Arun Nayar was finalized. The grounds given for the split was Nayar's unreasonable behavior. They were married 4 years. When Justin Timberlake wants to stop the constant ideas running through his head, he lights up a joint. Timberlake tells Playboy that pot helps him stop thinking. He says sometimes he has a brain that needs to be turned off. Timberlake confirms that he was wrecked when he was the first person punked by Ashton Kutcher on MTV. He says he stopped smoking dope for 9 or 10 months after that. Well, when Arnold Schwarzenegger's love child learned who his father was, his response was, "Cool." That's what his mother tells the British gossip magazine Hello. Mildred Baena and her son posed for the magazine in one of the first published pictures of Joseph. Baena says she wasn't certain at first that Schwarzenegger was the father, but started to see a resemblance in her son of Joseph as Joseph grew older. She says Maria Shriver had gotten suspicious as whispers circulated in the household over the similarities between Joseph and her Schwarzenegger. Baena says Shriver finally asked point blank if the boy was Schwarzenegger's son, and was so strong when faced with the truth. Baena says they each held each other as Shriver cried with her. She also says she told Shriver it wasn't Arnie's fault, that it takes two. The former housekeeper says Schwarzenegger is suffering too. He loves Maria, and she says she hopes with time that they can work things out. Well, in local entertainment news, on Friday, June 24th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Maxwell's in Kingston, that's at 31 North Front Street, you can see Dean Battistone. He says, "I'm playing an early evening of original music in this hip, casual setting," and he hopes you can make it. That's your latest entertainment report. For a new update daily, log on to MidHudsonNews.com. I'm Kimberly Kay.